Hey guys, so today I'm skiing, but I'm doing things a little differently. I'm gonna do my first ever Alpine tour. That's where you actually climb up the hill or mountain and then proceed to descend down after the fact. Got my skis set up right over here and I'm pretty excited to get started. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. Finally got the opportunity today. We're at Madonna di Campiglio, so let's get to hiking. Alpine Touring noob checking in. So I thought I was in the right place. Apparently I was on a hiking trail. It ended up getting really narrow, and if you can see down there, that's where the hiking trail went down across here, and it kind of switched back up this mountain a little bit. And I thought like, oh, that'll lead me to the right place. Well, the right place is here on this very nicely groomed, wide, double track all the way up. I realized when I got to this point that I was clearly not in the right place. So I tried to climb up here on my skis, proceeded to fall right about here, slide all the way down, probably about 15 feet or so, over the roots and ice and everything. Ended up cutting a hole in my snow pants, whoops, and then lost the basket to my right pole, the basket being that guy right there. So then I had to proceed to go back to retrieve it, fell again in the process, slid all the way down, climbed back up. Anyways, now we're in the right spot, so we can finally get started here and adventure upwards. We shouldn't have any issues moving forward from now on. I have no idea if we're halfway up, all the way up, but this view is amazing. I've really been enjoying this climbing experience in general. It's been pretty nice. I don't have any complaints at all. It's a nice little workout. Big reason that I wanted to try this was, one, you can really get more in touch with nature that way. You can also try to find some sick powder lines if they haven't been touched already, even though today is not a good day for powder. But two, it's good cross training for mountain biking. And of course, reason number three, I mean, I just love being in the mountains. I don't care what I'm doing. You can't beat a view like that. I think we made it. I think that's the top right up there. I can see a restaurant of sorts and people taking photos at the edge of the cliffs up there. So that really wasn't too bad and it was really enjoyable. Obviously we've got this final push to finish out, but just taking the views for a minute. I mean, it is absolutely incredible. We have made it. Look who I ran into up at the top.
Hey everybody! So while Ivan was climbing up today, I got to have the greatest experience and meet a St. Bernard named Meatball. He was 6 years old and he was 176 pounds, and I got to have a mini photo shoot with him at the top of the mountain. it was pretty awesome.
As a part of today's video, I did want to take a second to give you guys a breakdown of the differences with Alpine Touring skis compared to regular resort style skis that you only use purely for downhill. You may have noticed in some of the shots earlier that I'm able to lift my heel with my skis because it's a different type of binding. As you can see here, I have a tech style binding, sometimes referred to as low tech. These ones in particular are made by Dynafit, and the design is really simple, basic. It's been around for probably 20 years. You've got these pins here that go into your boot, and then in the back your boot locks into these pins in the rear. And that's for when you're going downhill. When you're climbing, you can actually pivot this piece around and it allows your heels to float freely, and so that way you can lift your heels as you're going up the climbs. Another part with the ski I wanted to mention, the crucial part, it's what gives me grip when I'm going up the climb, is this. This is a skin. Skins help you with grip when you're going up the climbs because they're directional in the way that they move. And when you're going forwards, they allow you to slide, but they won't slide backwards. So it really gives you good traction and you're able to just climb right up. It's a pretty interesting experience. Like I said, today's the first time I've ever done it and I really enjoyed it. And I was amazed by how much grip you can actually get while you're trying to climb uphill. So to get ready to climb, I'm going to make sure that I put my heels into climbing mode. So I'll put it right like that to the side. Then I'm gonna take my toes and slide the pin right into the hole that's in the toe of my boot. Press down on it and I'm locked in, and then you just pull up the toe to flip it into climbing mode so that way you can't release it easily. So now you can see that I'm able to lift my heel freely, so it'll give me the movement I need while I'm climbing. However, while climbing I can twist these knobs around and it'll put my heel higher up, which will give me easier support for while I'm going up a steeper grade. So usually I put it into this mode and I'll just climb right along. So Amy and I are at the top. It's time to go down. So now I'm gonna take off my skin, starting with the back. You just peel off the rear and then it's stuck onto the bottom of the ski. So you just peel it right off. And then your ski is normal and waxed and ready to ski downhill. So one bit that I forgot to mention is another thing with Alpine Touring setups. They don't always have brakes like you do on a traditional ski. The reason for that is because it's lighter weight. Alpine Touring skis are also usually a lighter weight wood core. Some people just don't really feel the need for it. As long as you know that your bindings are tight and you're not going to come out of it, then you don't really need the brake. So obviously you just have to be careful that you don't let your skis get away from you when they're headed downhill. So now that I've made it to the top, met Amy after she rode the gondola up, it's time to head down this descent and have some fun. So obviously ran into a bit of a situation on this run. As you can see, my skis chattered across the ice, and these being new skis that I've never used before, wasn't exactly sure how they were going to respond. On my downhill skis, I can allow this chatter to happen with no problems, but of course those are also heavier duty bindings. I had set the din on my tech binding to one higher than I would normally run on my downhill skis, so I thought I'd be just fine. As you can see in the video though, I learned that when it chattered across the ice, it allowed my heel to release on my right ski. If you look closely in the video, you can see how my right ski comes off and gets away from me, and after that it's all over. I proceed to start to fall, and then my left ski also ends up releasing, and there's nothing I can do. And like you saw earlier in the video, Alpine Touring bindings don't always have brakes. My skis don't have brakes, and away they went down the hill. More than anything, I'm glad that nobody got hurt as my skis took off down the hill. It could have easily accidentally collided with somebody who was unsuspecting at the bottom. Now, I did want to take a moment to talk about this run. We were here 2 weeks ago and it was full of powder, no problems at all. As you can see today, it's super, super icy and a lot of people are having a really hard time getting down it. You may have noticed the snowboarder who was scooting their way down the entire run. You could pretty much see that the majority was struggling to get down this run, and it's not at all because people can't ski well, it's just this run was pretty much a solid sheet of ice. Right after I fell, as you can see in the follow-up footage, there's a woman who slid all the way down from the very top to the very bottom, and even though her skis had brakes, when the skis popped off, they kept sliding all the way down, which normally isn't something that would happen, especially if you're on actual snow coverage, but it was just so icy and so slick that as soon as you started to slide, there was nothing you could do and you were pretty much along for the ride. Especially after the other woman fell and slid the whole way down, I did not want Amy to go down this run. Technically, it's the only way out. You have to take this run to get to the bottom of the ski lift, but off to the right-hand side, there's a groomed trail that's primarily meant for alpine touring and climbing. So I told Amy to make her way down that groomer and head out to the blue that'll then get her to the bottom of the gondola. Unfortunately, not the way that I wanted to end the day, but it certainly kept it interesting. Not something I really want to experience again if I can avoid it.
All right, guys, that's going to be it for this day of alpine touring at Madonna di Campiglio. Amy skiing the regular runs, taking the gondola up each time. Another nice perk to alpine touring is definitely the fact that you don't have to buy a lift pass. It's entirely free. You just get yourself to the top. Of course, I didn't get nearly as many runs in as Amy did today, but that's okay. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy our content, subscribe to our channel, and most importantly, tell us where to ski next. And waxed and ready to ski downhill.